What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We have a massive NBA slate for tonight. It is Taco Tuesday, so you guys know what that means. We're going to have lots of discounts over on Prizepicks, so hopefully we can have us a good day today. When we talk about the free picks from yesterday, free picks did not go well. We missed both free pick slips. Half of both legs cashed. Wendell Carter couldn't give us the PRA, and then we had Jonathan Taylor, who could not get the rushing receiving yards. So he barely went under. He had right at 80. We needed 90. It's unlucky that game became a blowout. Yesterday in general for me wasn't the best day. Now, we hit this slip over on parlay play. We had a couple of nice prize pick slips. A couple slips over on underdog and sleeper. But overall, it was a losing day for me personally. I'm not going to lie. Prize picks, we profited. Parlay play was slightly down, and then I lost on my sports books as well. I played one sportsbook play yesterday. I didn't do any NBA money lines. All I did is I played a 49ers teaser. I took San Francisco to get 4 points, and then I took the under on the total. So the under on the total cost me on this. I lost one full unit yesterday. Profit for this month is still sitting at $4,341. So I personally can't complain about how the sports books have been going this way this month. That's our first loss in the last 4 days. So can't complain at all. Going to play a little light today as well because this slate's a little tricky in my opinion. And I'm going to give you guys some advice from somebody with a lot of experience. And if you're new to this, it's probably not going to make much sense. But what I'm going to tell you guys is during holidays, sports can get a little bit weird when you're betting on them, unless you just get lucky and find the exact props that you need. But especially during Christmas, to me, over the last 6 years of doing this, Christmas time can be a little tricky. So be wary on these slates. A lot of injuries and stuff we got to worry about tonight too, so be careful with it. That's all I'm going to say. I don't recommend going balls to the walls on these slates. So until we get to the first of the year, recommend just being smart about what you place, okay? So that being said, I am going to pick a winner from yesterday's video to win a free month of our VIP. If you guys want a chance at free VIP, leave a like on this video. And if this video gets 250 likes, I will select a random comment down below to win a free month. So that being said, let's pick our winner from yesterday. Winner is going to be for Jerome Jones, who said, "Let's get this bread." Jerome, send me a message on Discord. I will get you added for that free month of VIP. I do appreciate the love and support from every single one of you guys. And if you guys do want to get all of my plays, you just click the WAP link down in the description. It is $8 a week with the code or $20 per month with the code NBA. The original price is $10 and $25. At the beginning of the year, code NBA may go away. I'm not sure. I may end up doing another code for Christmas, but it'll be 20-25% max probably for the Christmas one as well. So just code NBA is going to be probably the best bet. I may just leave it there as well. But if you guys want to join, we'd love to have you guys in there. The Discord is free to join. Link to the Discord is down in the description as well. We'd love to have you guys a part of the community, even if you're not in the VIP community. The free community, ask me any questions. I'll try to answer them. I answer questions in general chat all the time, and we'd love to have you guys a part of that. But that being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump into this slate. We're going to talk about it. We're going to lock in a couple of slips that I do like, and I think they should cash us out. So looking at game number one that we have is going to be the Nets taking on the Sixers. Now, this slate is really big. I'm not going to be going in super in detail in all these games, or I'll be sitting there talking for 45 minutes. So we're going to keep it a little bit short and sweet. Nets versus Sixers. Sixers are minus 300 favorites at home. A lot of the money on the Sixers for good reason. They're a better team. They're playing at home, playing against a Nets team that's missing quite a few players. We do have Michael Porter Jr. in this game that I'm looking at, and he's really the only one I'm kind of looking at here. On the Sixers side of things, you got Barlow, Embiid, and Grimes. Grimes is questionable. Barlow's questionable, and Embiid is probable, so he should play. They're missing Kelly Oubre and Watford still, so I do think the Sixers win this game. I do think that the Nets keep this competitive. I don't think this is going to be a blowout. Hopefully not. And I'm willing to put some interest in this game in terms of player props. Total's very low. It's not going to be one of those games that I target heavily, but Michael Porter Jr. has been a wagon, so Porter Jr. probably will be a play that I end up running. In terms of winner, give me the Sixers. Second game we have is going to be the Wizards taking on the Hornets. Charlotte minus 194 at home, 5.5 spread, 233.5 total. Majority of the money is going to be on the Hornets here for good reason. The Wizards are one of the worst teams in the league. We did get the Wizards called that win versus the Grizzlies. They almost beat I say almost beat. They lost by 11 to the Spurs 2 days ago. Looking at the Hornets, 2 back-to-back losses versus Detroit and versus the Cavs. So 2 strong teams beat them. Can't really complain about that. 2 games before that, they beat Cleveland and they beat Atlanta. So this Hornets team is actually looking good. I'm not going to lie. Now, could the Hornets come out here and get beat by the Wizards? Yes. Wizards have a questionable Kalibli and a questionable Bagley. They have pretty much everybody else. The Hornets, Kalkbrenner's questionable, Plumlee's questionable, and then Colin Sexton is also questionable. So this team's pretty much fully healthy as well. They got Ball, Knuppel, Miller, and Bridges, a very strong four-man team right there. So I'm expecting the Hornets to come out here and get a win. If you want to take the Wizards for plus 200, that's fine. Plus 200 just isn't very good value for the Wizards team to me. If it's like plus 3 or plus 4, then yes, I'd end up sprinkling money on the Wizards. But at this, I'm honestly okay with taking Charlotte and pairing it with like another strong favorite. Like, for example, if I want to take Charlotte and the Sixers, you could get almost even money there, and I'm willing to play take some chances on stuff like that. So that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. The next game we have is going to be the Cavs taking on the Pelicans. Now, this is a game where, honestly, the Pelicans could come out here and get a dub. Now, I think the Cavs win. Maybe sprinkle half a unit on the Pelicans at plus 350. Pelicans have won 5 games in a row. They beat Portland, Chicago, the Houston, Indiana, and Dallas. So they beat some pretty decent teams in their last 5 games, in my opinion. Looking at the Cavs, they just beat the Hornets. But before that, they lost 2 games versus the Bulls and then the game versus the Hornets again. So Cavs have been slightly struggling. They almost lost to Washington that game prior to that. So having a hard time. If you look at the Pelicans, they're missing DeJounte Murray. They have a questionable Herbert Jones. I'm not sure if Zion is even going to be playing tonight because they have him showing in the starting lineup, but as of last season, Zion doesn't play back-to-backs. And look at games this season, back-to-backs. He hasn't played a back-to-back game this season. Now, I know he's been dealing with injuries. I'm not sure if he's playing a back-to-backs or not. If there's any news about this and I'm just overlooking it, please let me know down in the comments. But if Zion plays, I really think the Pelicans are some live dogs here and could come out here and get a dub. But both teams are on a back-to-back game. Like I said, 22nd. You can see last night they played versus Dallas and versus the Hornets. So, sorry, man. Sheesh, your boy's struggling. But, yeah, I think Pelicans are live dogs if Zion plays. If Zion sits, I think it gets a little bit uglier for the Pelicans. But regardless, I think Cleveland's the better team. Cleveland wins majority of matchups versus the Pelicans, in my opinion, especially in Cleveland. So give me the Cavs here for a win. If Zion plays and you want to sprinkle a quarter of a unit or something on the Pelicans and have like a long shot parlay or something, I don't think that's a bad bet. Next game is going to be the Bulls versus the Hawks. This is probably the gold mine game of the night. You have a game that has a 252-point total, a 4.5 spread, minus 150 for Atlanta at home. Most of the money's on the Bulls. This game should be competitive. They just played 2 days ago and had a 302-point total. Highest game of the year, I'm pretty sure. If not, very close. It's got to be the highest game of the year, right? All I know is the Hawks have had some very, very fast-paced games, and so have the Bulls. So expect an electric game. Very good for props. I like Kobe White here. I like Josh Giddey here for Chicago. On the Atlanta side of things, I'm looking at Trae Young. Now, Jalen Johnson's the guy that's probably going to pop off, but Jalen Johnson's lines are so elevated. His PRA line's sitting at 45. Like, at lines like this, even though he's been cashing it, I just don't see a comfortable number that I'm wanting to take for Jalen Johnson. So his numbers are up there with freaking Giannis and Jokic and all these star players. And I'm not saying Jalen Johnson doesn't deserve that hype because he's been dropping like 60 PRA a lot of these games. You can see this. I'm not giving any disrespect to him. He's averaging 43 PRA on the season. He's had 63 games, 3 games this season already. So, dude's been popping off with Trae Young back, though. Even though Dyson Daniels is sitting, with Trae Young back, it still gets a little sketchy for me and him getting PRA this high. So, I'm probably just going to fade Jalen Johnson here. Porzingis is also out. I can see the reason the Bulls are favored or in terms of where the money's at. They're not favored in terms of odds, but they're favored in terms of where people are putting their money. Makes sense. I can see the Bulls pulling an upset here. They beat them the last game. Now, another game in Atlanta, I think the Hawks win. I'm honestly running with the Hawks here. But that's up to you guys what you want to take here. This is a coin flip game. It's going to be very tough. So, I think it's very, very good for player props, though, if you guys are interested in that. And your boy is, like, struggling with my eye now. Everything. I cough and my eye hurts. Your boy's just in bad shape, man. I'm kidding. But anyways, next game we have is going to be the Raptors taking on the Heat. Miami minus 194 at home, a 5.5 spread with a 228.5 total. Pretty much the majority of the money is going to be on the Heat. 93% of the money on Heat minus 5.5. This doesn't make sense to me. 93% on the Heat minus 5.5. 48% of the bets, which means there is a big bet on the Heat minus 5.5. You look at the spread or the money line, it's 66 and then 65%. So I think the Heat win. I will say that. I've been on the Raptors all week or all season. And the Raptors are struggling a little bit. The Heat are struggling a little bit. The Heat at home are tough to beat. You can see them at home. They've won a majority of games this season. Raptors on the road have won a lot of games this season, so you can't really count the Raptors out either. They just got beat by the Nets. The Heat just got beat in a close game versus the Knicks. Raptors are missing Pirtle and RJ Barrett tonight. Miami missing Tyler Hero against and friends. I'm not going to mention Rozier. I'm done with that. It's kind of getting old to me behind bars still. Anyways, this game I think does stay very competitive. I want to say the Heat, they're minus 194. If I had to put money on one of these lines, I'm taking Toronto at plus 200. I'm just saying that just because the odds there for Toronto are good, and Toronto's a good team. They're not a bad team. Miami is decent, but they're struggling too, man. Maybe I want to go with the Raptors here. I'm struggling here. I think Raptors plus 5.5 on the spread is what I'm going to take. I think that's going to be the play that I take from this game. If you want to run their money line, you can. If you want to run Miami, you can as well. I think Miami could win, and maybe the Raptors cover the spread. I think maybe that might be the two that I look at. But Raptors plus 5.5, I think is what I'm going to take on this game. Next one's going to be the Bucks taking on the Pacers. You got plus 113 at home for the Pacers, plus 1.5 on the spread, a 218.5 total. Not very fast pace. I'm fading this game. Too many unknowns for the Bucks. The Bucks struggle. Give me the Bucks in the road, though, to be honest with you. I think they beat the Pacers. Pacers have struggled as well. Not diving deep in this game because I'm not even looking at this game for player props, just to be honest. There's too many other games to look at, and this game is not something that I'm looking at. Next game's going to be the Nuggets taking on the Mavericks. This one's in Dallas, plus 245 underdogs for Dallas, a 7.5 spread, and 235.5 total. 86% of the money's on the Nuggets. Makes it tough to even look at Dallas or look at the Nuggets here in terms of money line. Nuggets, one of the best teams in the league. They've only lost one of their last 8 games. You look at the Mavericks, they've lost 2 in a row. They just got beat by the Pelicans. Looking at these two teams, both are on back-to-backs. The Nuggets are still missing Aaron Gordon, Christian Brown, and Bates. Looking at Dallas, they have a questionable Max Christie. Derek Lively and Kyrie are obviously out. Dante's still out. And, the rest of the team is pretty much there, so ready to go. I think this game does stay competitive. I don't think it's a blowout. If you wanted to take Dallas at plus 240, I don't think that's a stupid play. I really don't, especially with all the money on the Nuggets. I do think the Nuggets win this game. That's going to be my analysis on this, taking – if I was just going to throw half a unit on this game, I'd throw it on Dallas. Now, if I was trying to make a really nice slip that I actually think is going to hit, and I'm not just playing underdog because of odds, I'd run with the Nuggets because I do think the Nuggets are the better team. And at minus 245, it's juiced. But, I guess it is in Dallas. I would say the odds are not as bad as they could be, but those are pretty rough odds in Dallas versus this team because this Dallas team has upset a lot of teams lately. They've been looking a lot better. And I could see them somehow pulling out a win here. So we'll see what happens. I'm not sure what I want to do in this game. I may end up sprinkling Dallas at plus 245, but I like this Nuggets team a lot, and I'm kind of leaning towards them too. So probably the Nuggets is who I'm calling for this game. So next game's going to be the Knicks, Timberwolves. This is a game that could be it could be a gold mine as well for props. I really wanted to see a healthy Knicks versus a healthy Minnesota. I honestly probably would have ended up running the Knicks. Knicks are missing Brunson. They're missing Anunoby. They're missing McBride. They're missing Landry. They're missing so many players. Minnesota, nobody. Jaden McDaniels questionable. That's it. Both teams have looked great lately. The Knicks have only lost one of their last 10 games. They have been freaking on a heater. Look at these games. Look at this, guys. They have been killing it. Same thing for the Timberwolves. Not quite to the extent of the Knicks, but been playing good. They just beat OKC. So beating Minnesota at home is hard to do, especially when you're an injured team. I'm not taking the Knicks here without Brunson. I think Karl Anthony Towns has a good game if you want to take a player prop there. I think Randall has a good game, actually. I like Minnesota here in this game, minus 245. I could run Minnesota with the Nuggets. If you want to take the Nuggets, you can run Minnesota with the Hornets. You can have a very good slip by running just a couple games together like that with Minnesota. And I think Minnesota is a pretty good play tonight with this hurt team because Minnesota, to me, is one of the best teams in the league. Legitimately. The Knicks are one of the better teams in the league as well. Both are playoff-capable teams, and I like both these teams, but Knicks are hurt. Minnesota, even if the Knicks were healthy, this is a good game. So Minnesota's only missing one player potentially, so give me Minnesota here. Next game is going to be the Thunder taking on the Spurs. This is a game that's tough to call as well. The Spurs have beat OKC, knocked them out of their little tournament. This is one of those could be a revenge game for OKC. How often do you see OKC at minus 196? Not very often do they get odds like this. You got the Spurs plus 200 at home. Not often do you get the Spurs for plus 200. 5.5 spread, 234.5 total. Majority of the money right now is on OKC. The biggest thing right now is OKC's injury list. You got to look at this. Caruso questionable. Hartenstein questionable. Holmgren questionable. Wiggins questionable. Jalen Williams questionable. This could get ugly. Spurs, Wembanyama questionable. I think Wemby's going to play. If all these players sit, this is Spurs all day. So, for me, in my personal opinion, I don't think every player for OKC plays. A couple of them have to sit, in my opinion. Now, I could be completely wrong. They all play, and they end up beating the Spurs. But getting the Spurs at plus 200 right now is probably going to be the best odds you can get. So, if these players get ruled out, the Spurs are probably going to become favored, or at least even money. So if you plan on taking the Spurs at all, if you're leaning on the Spurs, I think taking the Spurs right now at plus 200 is going to be the time to lock it in. I don't think it's going to stay that way for the rest of the day when some of these players get ruled out, if they get ruled out. Spurs plus 5.5, same thing. Eventually, it could end up being Spurs minus 1.5 or something. So if you want to play the spread on the Spurs, right now is not a bad time to take it if you plan on doing that. I personally think Wembanyama is going to play. I could be wrong. Wemby could sit. Every player in OKC play, and they blow out the Spurs or something. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think this game stays competitive regardless, and I think getting the Spurs at this value is not that bad with all these players on the injury list. So do what you want with that information. So many games to cover, guys. Next game we have is the Grizzlies versus the Jazz. Jazz have Markkanen back. There's not any props from Markkanen that I can get. I'm going to be honest with you. So Markkanen just shows first basket of the game. Obviously not going to touch that. That's the most degenerate play you could run. If you look at Memphis, missing every player on the team pretty much. Morant's questionable again. Jazz are only missing Kevin Love. So new anyway. Niang's obviously out, and Walker Kessler is obviously out for the season. But I don't think Markkanen did not play last night, right? I can check. Let's pull Keontae George up. We're going to go games with Lauri Markkanen. The 22nd. So Markkanen did play last night. Okay. Why did I think Markkanen sat? For some reason, I was thinking Markkanen sat last night. Okay. So anyways, the Jazz, they are plus 146 underdogs. 68% of the money is on them. 3.5 point spread. 243.5 total. Kind of leaning the Jazz here at home for plus money. That's what I'm going to say. The Grizzlies have not impressed me. The Grizzlies don't impress me. They had a good little stretch they were winning, but they're back to their losing selves again. I think they've lost, the last 2 games? Yeah. So they had a nice little stretch here where they were looking strong, and they just lost to OKC and the Wizards. The OKC loss doesn't scare me. The Wizards loss is what scares me. Now, when you look at the Jazz, they got blown out last night by Denver. Got beat by the Orlando in a 1-point game the game before that, and then barely lost to the Lakers the game before that. So, if they can keep it close with some of these better teams, I think the Jazz can come out here and get a win versus the Grizzlies at home, especially with Markkanen back. So give me the Jazz here at plus money. I'll be sprinkling some money on that one. Next game is going to be the Lakers taking on the Suns. This one is in Phoenix. Phoenix is minus 200 favorite, 6.5 spread. You're not going to see me put money on this game in terms of money line because I'm all over the Lakers. Even though they're missing Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves is questionable. I'll go ahead and show you guys that so you don't think I'm just making stuff up. You got Doncic out, Rui is out, Reeves is questionable, Gabe Vincent is out. Phoenix has a doubtful Grayson Allen, still missing Jalen Green, obviously, but Phoenix has looked good, man. I've been sleeping on Phoenix all season long. You guys know that. I say it every video. There's just something about Phoenix that I just cannot get myself to trust. And maybe if I trusted them, I'd be up. But I took Golden State the last game, and you can see Golden State they ended up losing to Golden State, and people were against me on that one. The game before that, they beat Golden State by 1. So, I think for plus 200, it's hard not to take the Lakers. I'll say that. But maybe I'm sleeping on Phoenix again. Even though the Lakers are missing a lot of players, they still have a decent team, especially if AR plays. If Reeves plays, they're definitely live dogs for plus 200 now. I'm probably not going to take them. We'll see what happens with the odds. We'll see what happens with the injuries. But I'm just going to say Lakers plus 200. Be careful with that. Next game is going to be the Magic taking on the Blazers. minus or even odds pretty much on this one. Portland is plus 1.5 underdogs at home, 233.5 on the total. If you look at the Magic, they have a questionable Suggs. De Silva's questionable. They're missing Castleton and Wagner still. Portland's missing a lot of different players we've already looked at, and pretty much the same thing as usual. Jeremy Grant's questionable. Golden State just blew out the Magic in Golden State. So that was last night. They got beat by 23 points. If you look at the Trailblazers, they just got beat by Detroit last night in an 8-point game. So I do think the Magic come out here and get a dub. Now this one is in Portland. They're traveling again. This could be tough for them. I guess if I had to pick, this game's not one I'm really looking at taking or putting money on, but if I had to pick, I guess give me the Magic here. And that's not a confident one. If Suggs plays, I think the Magic can win. If Suggs sits, maybe give me Portland. I'll be waiting for some injury news on that. I'm not real sure how I feel about that game. Next two games, we have the Pistons on the Kings. Give me the Pistons. I'm not diving into this one very deep. Next game after that is going to be the Rockets versus the Clippers. Give me the Rockets. I can't take the Clippers. Clippers at plus 250 is not a bad bet. I don't think they just beat the Lakers. I called that win versus the Lakers. Sacramento just the Rockets just lost to Sacramento 124 to 125 2 days ago. So I forgot about this, actually. I forgot they got beat by the Kings. That's tough. I do think they're a better team. I do think that they could come out here and get beat by the Clippers for sure. I think the Clippers are better than their record shows. I think they're just old and their coaching is so bad that it makes it hard to put money on them. I can't take the Clippers. You guys know that. The Clippers have been my kryptonite this season. Every time I take them, they burn me. So give me the Rockets minus 240. I don't think the odds are super bad on that if you want to play it in parlays. So that's what I got for these games. Let's go ahead and jump over to player props. We're going to lock in two slips live real quick, and we'll get this video ended. So for the first prop we have for today is going to be our man Trae Young. Give me Trae Young for 8 assists. This line is going to be bought down slightly. I know that this is a little scary playing Trae Young sometimes. Trae Young is good for double-digit assists all the time, guys. He really is. Look at him last season for 8 assists, 80% hit rate. Dude is a facilitator. He makes plays. Jalen Johnson's been hot. I think Trae Young is going to come out here and give us 8 assists. Now, if you look at Chicago's assist defense, give up 24th in the league in assists, almost 28 assists per game. Our man Trae Young played 26 minutes his last game. I'm expecting similar playing time in this game. That game was close. It was a 300-point total. Now, that game, I don't even think that game went to overtime, did it? That was just a 300-point game in regular game time. So, yeah, I think Trae gives us 8. I'm willing to take a chance on him, and you're going to see me play that over here on Parlay Play. I will say, if you guys want a free month of VIP, sign up for one of our partnered apps down in the description. Parlay Play, Underdog Sleeper, Chalkboard Better, Novig Dabble. Any of those 7 apps get you a free month. You get up to 7 months for free. You can stack them. Just let me know if you do, and we'll get you added. I'm playing 7.5 assists for Trae Young. You can lock it in on Prizepicks if you prefer to do it there. Trae, assists, 7.5. And who are we going to pair our man Trae Young with? So we're pairing Trae Young with a game stack from the Bulls. I think this game is a gold mine. Like I said, I'm playing Josh Giddey. Now, I like Kobe White for 7.5 rebounds and assists. We played it the other day. It cashed easily. Give me Kobe White again tonight. I'm going to run that sometimes, but I like Josh Giddey for 35 PRA. 34.5. He's cashed at 70% this season. Head-to-head, he's cashed at 2 straight games versus Atlanta. He had 40 his only game this season back on the 21st 2 days ago. And 36 the game before that. Look at Atlanta's points, rebounds, and assist defense. One of the worst defenses in the league. Go to the point guard position, it's just as bad. So Giddey should have a good matchup here. It's a good spot for Giddey. Like I said, I like Kobe White here as well. If you want to take Kobe White, you can. I think both of them are going to be good plays. Giddey has been a little bit sporadic lately. Look at his last 10 games. He's cashed at 60%. He's got some games where he's getting low 20s in PRA. So Giddey loses a lot of usage with Kobe White. I will say that. Kobe White eats up a lot of his stats, but 35 is pretty low for a guy who's averaging almost 40 on the season. He's had games over 50. This is a fast-paced matchup. He just had 40 versus them 2 days ago. So give me Josh Giddey here. I think he has a good chance of cashing this out, and 35 is what I'm going to end up running from him. So give me Giddey. 34.5 points, rebounds, and assists is a 1.5x. Gives us a 1.8x. We're going to lock this in over on Prizepicks. I will check it, or on Parlay Play, I'll check it on Prizepicks first to make sure we're not getting screwed on value. So 1.9x, it's actually better value on Prizepicks. I'm going to lock it in on Parlay Play just because I want to lock it in live on video, or I guess I could wait. It's an extra 10%. Or I guess it's extra 5%. It'd be an extra, what's 250 payout on here? 500 versus 450. So yeah, it is pretty much an extra 10%. But anyways, 1.8x. I'm okay with taking it. I'm gonna be honest with you. So let's say 500. They go to a 2x. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Never mind. Okay. It just swapped to a 2x. Giddy's value just went up, or one of them did. Well, you can't play this at 1.8x now when it just jumped to. I was wondering why it showed 500. That's why I got confused for a second there. It's like 500. That don't make sense. Nah, we're gonna have to play this at Prizepicks for that. 0.2x is completely different. Like I got to take that. That's where that 10% came from. But anyways, yeah, let's play that on Prizepicks. Don't play it on parlay play right now. Josh Giddey, Trae Young. I like this slip a lot if you want to play it. Next two plays we have is going to be for our man Stephon Castle. I am taking Castle. Now, there's two plays I like. You guys can choose between them. I like his PRA at 24.5. If Wemby sits, this is a great play. Yes, they're playing against OKC. He has 2 games versus OKC. He's had 30 and 43 in his last 2 games. Has played very well versus OKC. OKC does not give up many stats. It doesn't matter where I come on here. It's not going to be like, pause, first of all. It doesn't matter what I look at in here in terms of stats. Yes, to the shooting guard position, they give up a lot of points and assists, or points and rebounds. So maybe that's good for Castle. But regardless, overall, OKC is not one of those teams that you're going to get a lot of stats from. Castle at 24.5, I like it a lot. He's averaging 31 on the season. I think this is a good matchup for him. I think he's going to cash this out. You can go to games with Wemby. Even if Wemby plays, he's cashed 94% of games this season. He's played very, very well with Wemby. So Castle, like him a lot here. Like him for points. If you want to take his points at 13.5, I like this line as well. He's cashed it 85% on the season, and he's cashed it 2 games in a row versus OKC. He's had 22 and 32 points, so very, very big point game. So if you want to take his points, you can do that as well. It's a good matchup for the shooting guard position, and Castle should cash that. So you guys can pick the one you want. It's up to you. I don't blame you for both. I think they're both good. I think you can get 13.5 maybe on Prizepicks. Castle, Prizepicks points. You cannot get 13.5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock in Castle 24.5 PRA. His 13.5 points is going to be about the same value if it gets put up on the board. Right now you can't get it, but it should be there today or later today. So just wait for it on Parlay Play and you'll be able to get it. I like Parlay Play a lot. It's one of my favorite apps. Highly recommend you guys have it if you don't. But anyways, I'm going to lock in Castle on the live slip. So Castle, who am I pairing him with? I'm pairing him with Brandon Ingram. This is a good match versus Miami. Miami's pretty fast-paced. They're still missing R.J. Barrett and they're missing Pirtle. I think this is a game where the Raptors could get a win. So 29.5 PRA for Ingram is not that bad. This was a 1.8x on Parlay Play. I'm thinking this might not be the value that I think it was. Did I just play Instagram? Oh, my gosh. I don't think the value is going to be as good as I thought it was. 1.69. I can't even play this now. What the heck? This was a 1.8x a minute ago, which means Castle, his value come down a lot. So what I'm going to do is probably run something a little safer and add a third play. I think that has to be the move here. So maybe we take Ingram at 17.5 points because Ingram's points line, he's cashed this 67% of games, but you look at his points line, he's been racking up the points. So he's cashed this 77% head-to-head. He had 28 points his last game versus Miami. So 18 points is not that much for Ingram. He's averaging 17 field goal attempts per game. He's getting close to 20, so he should cash that for us. So we'll play Ingram points, and then I'll throw in like another play, and maybe they'll have a promo that we like. Porter Jr., I could play Porter's PRA or something really low, like 29.5 here. Give us a 1.9x. I could do that. I may do that. I may throw in just Porter at 29.5 PRA. We know how Porter is. Porter's one of those guys who's been a wagon for us. His PRA line at 29.5 has been very, very consistent. He's cashed 8 of his last 10. He's cashed it 74% on the season. It's a decent matchup. Philly gives up an okay amount of stats. To the forward position, they don't give up many. To the guard position, they give up a decent amount. So injury news, obviously Cam Thomas is still out. That's what you're looking at for Porter. I like it here. I like this matchup. I think Porter gives us 30, so give me Porter at 29.5. We'll put 250 on this, $480, and I like this slip. So I don't like playing 3-mans like this for a double up, but it is what it is, and that's what I'm going to do just for the video to get a slip locked in because that Castle and Ingram value dropped horrendously. But let me check something first, actually. We'll see what it is on Prizepicks. I might need to cancel that slip. let's make sure that it's not like. So it's a 1.8x here. So it was, like I said, 1.8x. So you could play that here if you want. I guess that value's better. I can't do this. I can't play these on parlay play right now. I'll have parlay play slips dropped, but for now, yeah, I'm going to have to play these two on sleep or on Prizepicks. Those two slips are way better on Prizepicks. Lock them in there. Yeah, it's a 1.8x. That's what I was going for. 1.8 to 2x is where I kind of hover around. I like to get 2.1x slips, but I get screwed waiting for the videos. I'm going to be honest with you guys because I'll find the plays I like, and before I lock them in, I'm like, I got to lock them in live on YouTube, so I'll go and record and then just miss out on some value. But that's what I like, guys. You can lock them in if you like them. If you don't like them, just fade them. If you want to put them together, do what you want. You can mix and match how you want, but those are our picks. We have Trae Young, 7.5 assists. Josh Giddey, 34.5 PRA. Stephon Castle, PRA or points. And then we had Ingram, 29.5 PRA. Lock them in if you want. If you don't, just fade them. Trust your gut, guys. Hope you guys have an awesome day. And I will see you guys in tonight's video whenever we record our NFL Thursday video. So, see y'all in the next one. Well, why did I think today was Wednesday? I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Tomorrow's video, expect 2 videos. I'll just say that. See y'all.